Hey, gang. Once again, up front with Frank Rothstein on Sky's Crescent Radio. So let me say it, Shana Tova, which is Hebrew for a good year because it is now the Jewish New Year. Rosh Hashanah is in progress. Waiting for Yom Kippur to come across this coming weekend, I believe. It is the year 5781. And just wanted to say a good year to everyone. Sitting with me on the other end of this connection, somewhere in her tropical resort with a recently new hairstyle, is, of course, the short-haired Jade Zabrick. You can always find out what Jade is doing, find out about her at skyscrescentradio.com or thetrainwalkers.com. Hear about the band, where they're singing, where they're dancing, whatever it is they're doing this week. And, yeah. Go check out the site. Give it a hit. See what's going on. I'll be there. Look at my picture. Yeah, it's another interesting week in Gotham City. If you remember that line, that's from the old Batman show. Every time it opened up, it started out with the narrator saying, "Another sunny day in Gotham City." What have we got to talk about? Oh, well. Let's go with the story that pisses me off the most. I forgot to announce last August 19th, last month, Mark David Chapman was denied parole for the 11th time. Do you know who Mark David Chapman is? This is the lowlife that killed John Lennon. Mark David Chapman has now issued an apology to Yoko Ono 40 years later. 1980. Yeah, wow, 1980. 40 years later. Says that he did it for self-glory. Okay, he did it for self-glory. And I have been asking myself since that night, why would anyone want to kill John Lennon? But I remember how it was flashed on the news, to be quite honest. I remember it, yeah. It was during Monday Night Football. Howard Cosell made the announcement along with Frank Gifford and Don Meredith. And the quote is, the news flash, first they debated on whether to do it. They didn't know what to do with it. They had this news flash in the middle of Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins were playing the New England Patriots. And Howard Cosell said, and I quote, "We have to say it. Remember, this is just a football game. No matter who wins or loses, an unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous, perhaps, of all the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival. Hard to go back to the game after that news, which in duty bound we had to take." I remember that well. Yeah, he's been denied parole 11 times. Let him stay in jail, put him in a dingier hole in the ground somewhere, let him rot in darkness. And that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, I have been saying every now and then, why would anyone want to kill? Every time I hear one of John Lennon's songs, why would anybody want to kill him? Well, somebody found the reason. They wanted a little glory. Well, 40 years later, we still wish John rests in peace. Let's get to a little more ridiculous story. I find this, well, I pull everything off the New York Post because it covers everyone's news feeds. LeBron James cannot believe that Lori Loughlin gets to pick her prison. You know Lori Loughlin, the one who paid for her kid to get into USC and bribed whoever she could bribe and all that. Now she has to serve 2 months behind bars. And, of course, there'll be community service and whatever else she has to do. And she gets to pick her own prison. I can't believe it either. I really can't. That's just incredible. I mean, yes, she has celebrity, but not that great. Well, she does now. I never heard of that. Somebody getting to pick their own prison. At least I never heard of it in the press. Certainly, when something goes on, a closed door meeting between the judge and the lawyers, yeah, you don't know why people, maybe they go for a better medical facility, whatever it is. This woman's getting to pick her own prison, which she's choosing the one closest to her home, so that all her neighbors can see her. And yeah, Lori Loughlin is getting to choose her own prison, which LeBron James cannot believe, of course. And it says, he says, of her what? I'm laughing because sometimes you just have to stop from crying. And that's what LeBron said. She will get to serve her 2-month sentence at the prison of her choice. So it doesn't make no damn sense to me. We just want the same treatment if committed of the same crime. That's all. Is that asking too much? Let me guess. It is. Well, yeah, I know that. I'm reading. I'm not babbling. This is what I'm reading. We'll just keep pushing forward, not expecting handouts, strong, black, and powerful. All right. He's right. He's right. I cannot tell you if it is white privilege or if it's just bullshit celebrity, but they don't have to ship her to Montana to put her in prison for a 2-month sentence. But to give her a choice of which prison within the state to go to, just lock her in the county jail for a couple of months. Who cares? Let her eat whatever they serve. Holy shit. Some of these stories are really just insane, to be quite honest. They're just insane. What do you think I picked these stories for? Because they're insane. Because not only are they sometimes they're important, sometimes they're just entertaining. I carry both. Like the American Express card, I don't let my show go on without it. This is just dumb. All right, let's see. Shall we play a little music? I like music. Actually, yeah, we're going to play a song. Oh, wait, let me get rid of this. I thought my computer was off. The first song I'm going to play is a little techno-based. It is by a woman who I've known since actually she's a little girl. At that time, she had the name Little. That was her nickname. Like Stevie Wonder had the name Little Stevie Wonder. This was Little Onazar. Anyway, now she's a grown woman. She has a good singing voice. And she asked me if I could play something. And I said, yes, of course. And I think we should get on with it. The song is called Pandora's Twilight. This is from 2019. And this is Onazar.
Teach you how to read the stars.
There you go. That was Onazar. What else is going on in the world right now? Well, actually, a lot. I don't want to leave this out because we all know it's all over the news, so you don't need me to give great detail about the story. But as we all know, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and she lived a good life, kept herself in shape, did everything. Excuse me. What I found to be wrong about this all the coverage, about everyone's reaction, not everyone, but a lot, many, and I did it myself. I was sitting at my cousin's house when I read this news flash, and the first thing I said was, uh-oh. Here you have a justice on the Supreme Court, one of the, I don't know what word to use, one of the, okay, we'll use the word greatest women to ever live, if you like that one, influenced many, did her job with giving it her best, even when she was sick later in life. And all that you want to attribute to her, and all people could think about, was who was going to replace her. She didn't even get to be dead a day. Because Mitch McConnell was on the news saying, with his voice, well, we have to very quickly, and whatever. And that's all I could think of, really, was that as I'm sitting like in an hour to pass and I'm watching all the reactions, social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever I was, that with all the rest in peace little typings, everyone was worried about what Donald Trump was going to do. I can't believe it. Yeah, let her rest a day. Give it a day. But actually, and I know everybody wants, a lot of people want the next justice coming in, the nomination, to wait till after the election. But it's not a constitutional requirement. Actually, any president is allowed to nominate someone for the Supreme Court and does not have to be in office when it's confirmed. They're nominated. Certainly when Barack Obama had a slot to fill, the Republican Party wanted everyone to wait till after the election. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and has to be done right away. But if it were up to me, from a practical standpoint, I would wait till after the election, not because of political alliance, not because of this or that, simply because, well, if Donald Trump wins the election, then no harm done. Nominate whoever you want. If Joe Biden wins, he has a clean slate. He gets that pick. He's the president. he has a clean slate. He has a clear pen. He just has a new book to write, so to say. That's just how I see it. But okay, obviously I'm not in politics for a reason. Then again, I would be an independent because I'll go wherever the story comes up. My thoughts will go over wherever it takes me, wherever the wind takes me. I don't go with party lines. I don't think about that. I really don't. Uh, but yeah, I could not believe, including myself, the first thought was political. That's pathetic. I admit it. That's pathetic. But for Justice Ginsburg, hope she rests well. She has earned it. And let's move on to the next bit of information here. What else is going on? Well, we're still in Manhattan, and restaurants are slowly starting to think about opening up. I know at the end of this month, they'll be allowed to open to 25% capacity. I believe that the outdoor seating will expire at the end of October, unless there's an extension of it. People can find a way to, I guess, keep it warm for their customers. Because I'm looking at one of the restaurants in the Upper West Side. They got like bubbles, plastic pods, bubbles for people to sit in. Looks like they're seating 4 at a time, unless they've rigged it up bigger. Yeah, well, that creates social distancing. But if you're a group of 4 people sitting in a bubble, you're now sort of contained. However, whatever people have to do, I guess, as long as it doesn't go against any guidelines. Yeah, the bubbles look decent sized, a little opening on the side so you can get in and out. But well, you have to step over a lip, I guess, to get in. I hope nobody's ordering hot soup. Get dangerous. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. And then it's been announced that there will be a 10% surcharge that restaurants will be allowed to charge their patrons, their customers. I don't know that 10% is going to help anybody. I really don't. The expenses of running a massive restaurant that's only allowed 25% seating. Like I know of a place near me that can seat about, I think, 75 to 80 people. Now they will be down to 20. Okay, 20. Maybe they order a bottle of wine, maybe 2. Tap on 10%, but you still have all the expenses to pay. So I don't know that it's going to work. Take the smaller size places, the average place. They seat maybe 16. They're small little places to seat 20. They're down to 5, 6. No, excuse me, 4, 20. No, let me say 5. 25%. Yeah, 20 people. What am I saying? 10%. What are they ordering? I mean, it's not like they're ordering $1,000 an ounce carryout. They're not ordering $1,000 bottles of wine. You can start packing on hundreds here and there. So I don't know how this is going to really benefit any restaurant, especially because at some point restaurants have to go back to paying rent. They have to go back to paying insurance. They'll have to, especially if they have large capacity outdoor seating, they'll have to let a couple of people go again because they don't need all the help. So you're going to see some jobs lost. I don't know. That's a tricky one. 10%. I think it's an appeasement myself, but okay, whatever. That's that. Well, that's a lot of story. Ooh, I'm getting winded over here. Let's go play some music. That's what we're really here to do. Play music, listen to me babble a little bit about the bullshit in the world. And let me tell you something. Mark David Chapman apologizing to Yoko Ono at this part of time is bullshit. Back to the music. Playing a lot of oldies tonight, by the way. There'll be no new releases, so we're just playing some old stuff. I'm going back to 1950. This is a song that people have heard. We've heard the version I remember best came from Ike and Tina Turner, but this is the original artist who sang it. This is Melvin Little Son Jackson with Rockin' and Rollin'.
Rock me, baby, rock me all night long. Rock me, baby, rock me all night long. I want you to rock me like my back ain't got no bone. Roll me, baby, like you roll a wagon wheel. Roll me, baby, like you roll a wagon wheel. I want you to roll me, you don't know how it make me feel. I want you to rock me all night long. I want you to rock me all night long. Rock me, baby, like my back ain't got no bone. Rock me easy, baby, rock me slow. Rock me easy, baby, rock me slow. I want you to rock me till I want no more.
There you go. That was rocking and rolling. That's what we're doing out here. We're just rocking and rolling with all these stories. Sometimes, I don't know what's worse, that I'm reading these things or people are actually doing these things. Here's a story which, well, I got this at the Time Out magazine. This is from the 21st, so it's from yesterday. Let's see. It says this performance artist is cooking and eating her father's cremated remains. Eva Margaritas, salt, fat, ashes, and heat uses cannibalism to explore conjuring and mourning. I'm telling you, they did this in South Park. I remember them doing this in South Park years ago. Every week, remember, they said, "Oh my God, you killed Kenny." He was cremated, and one day the kids, thinking they were having like chocolate milk or something, they put the ashes in, and one says, "Oh my God, you drunk Kenny." Anyway, and then they started acting like Kenny. It says it's mourning in America as people across the country wrestle with personal and collective senses of loss. In a striking theatrical piece this week, performance artist Eva Margarita will be processing her own grief in an unusually literal way by cooking and eating 3 kinds of food that, she says, will be made using the bones and ashes of her late father's cremated remains. You got that? And that is on Wednesday. And she is live streaming Margarita's marathon, Salt, Fat, Ashes, and Heat, a 12-hour durational piece that aims to explore an archive of blackness in everyday life. To some, the project may sound ghoulish, but its aim, which draws on the artist's Afro-Latinx heritage, is healing and instructive. Okay. Well, that's instructive. These ashes, just pour them on like pepper. Done through the cooking practice, this conjuring aims to trace this. Forget it. I'm not reading it. This is just stupid. If you want, you can pay. Says reserving tickets cost $0 to $10 for donations. There's a follow-up panel discussion. Look up Eva. Look up Eva Margarita and watch her eat Dad. And then the next day you could watch her as she goes and she craps out Dad, because that's just what's going to, whatever she eats, she's going to get rid of. So yes, Easy come, easy go, bad. Holy shit. What if she starts acting like that? I hope he was a good guy. Oh, man. Well, whatever dish she's making, I hope she melts cheese on it, because I like to melt cheese on everything. Let's see, a 12-hour marathon. What's she making? She's cooking Guatemalan tamales, and those actually take 8 to 12 hours to cook. Okay. I was thinking the word dad tacos, but okay. Listen, if that's what she's got to do, good luck. That's about all I get out of that one. Good luck. Oh, man, it's one of those days. And, well, of course, I get again from the Post, but this came from the Seattle Times, really. It says here Seattle pays ex-pimp $150,000 to offer alternatives to policing. That is today's story. Of course, now they need the thing to slide down. My computer's giving me a hard time. Wait, here we go. No. Problem with the New York Post is they always want to play a video that sort of gets in the way. Okay, Seattle now has on its payroll a convicted pimp, once vowed to go to war with the city, a $150,000 street czar whose mission is to come up with alternatives to policing. Andre Taylor, who appeared in the documentary American Pimp about his life as Gorgeous Dre, is getting $12,500 per month for a year, along with an office in Seattle's Municipal Tower. And that's according to the contract published by Publicola. Comes just a year after his organization. There it is. Let me get rid of that again. It comes a year after his organization, not this time, was paid $100,000 to sponsor a speaker series that was called Conversations with the Streets. There you go. Alternatives to policing. I am sure there are plenty of other ways to do policing. I have no doubt about it. I don't know that paying a guy who you already paid to not cause trouble will now should get paid to whatever he's supposed to be doing. But okay, that's what's going on in Seattle. And that is that story. Yeah, well, that's just the way it is. It's 5:30. And sometimes not all the stories get read straight through. It's just the way it goes. And it's not like I'm sitting here. Well, sometimes I just lose a little interest. This isn't perfect journalism here. This is me sitting here telling you what's going on. And I think we're going to play another song because I got to go through songs. I know Jade's ready. Going back to an original version. Normally when I play his music, I go to the album Black and White Night, which was like a, don't say documentary. It was a concert years ago. I'm going to the original version. This is from 1963. This is Roy Orbison, Blue Bayou.
I feel so bad, I've got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time since I left my baby behind on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine, looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where you sleep all day and the catfish play on Blue Bayou. All those fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise through sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. Oh, to see my baby again, and to be with some of my friends. Maybe I'd be happy then on Blue Bayou. hurting inside. I'll never be blue, my dreams come true on Blue Bayou.
That was the one and only Roy Orbison. Always enjoy his music. So I'm looking at the news, and of course, the United States has passed 200,000 deaths with COVID-19. Dr. Fauci calls it sobering and stunning. It is not sobering, it is not stunning. We knew this was coming. Don't be so stunned. The number itself can sound sobering if someone's actually listening, but we were just under that number a couple of days ago, so no, it is not surprising. It is sad. It is tragic. It's a lot of things. But sobering and stunning, I don't know about that. Unless you're sobered up and stunned now. And I am not joking. This is... Not every piece of information coming out should be treated as a surprise. This was coming. Everyone knew it. Just keep proper perspective, and I think people will manage a little better. What else is going on in the world? I get a lot of these. I like these odd stories for my entertainment value, as tragic as they are. A guy in Kentucky was arrested after taking a 5-hour bus ride to visit his parents in Illinois with suitcases stuffed with body parts from a woman he believed to be his girlfriend. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Melvin Martin Jr. recently hopped a Greyhound bus in Louisville with luggage and headed to downtown Chicago. That's according to the Chicago Sometimes, yeah. His parents then took him and unwittingly the bags concealing dismembered body to their home in Markham, so they didn't know about it. Okay. Then it's even more crazy, traveling body parts. I'm telling you, the kin, his family, soon grew suspicious because Martin never unpacked the heavy bags after several days and kept guarding them. Well, what was his plan? The guy's traveling with a body in his bags, little bits and pieces of it. You're just going to travel the country carrying a luggage? Where do they find these? Who thinks of this crap? That's why I read these things. They're fodder for my cannon. What else is going on? Actually, this is actually a bit of good news. A judge has temporarily blocked the ban on the U.S. from WeChat. That's a communication app, like WhatsApp, like Line, like a lot of others. WeChat is used heavily by the Chinese. People in America call their family overseas. Not everybody has an unlimited plan and can go with data and pay all kinds of giant bills. They use these apps. And Donald Trump wanted to ban it because of his problems with China, whatever they may be. But to ban this, but I don't know what banning this app would have done to make his political life easier, other than to say, I did it. So the judge, Judge Laurel Beeler, wrote that the plaintiffs, a group of U.S.-based WeChat users who stand to be affected by Trump's ban, had shown serious questions in their claim that the executive order threatens users' First Amendment rights. When you don't know what else to do, just say First Amendment. That's how I grew to understand it. The plaintiff's evidence reflects on WeChat as effectively the only means of communication in many, in the community. Not only because China bans other apps, but also because Chinese speakers with limited English proficiency have no options other than WeChat. So pretty much they're all, out of necessity, funneled into this app. Yeah, I don't ban it. Nobody needs to ban it. It's okay. It's doing fine. Let people call home. It's 5:37. Wow, banging through stories like crazy. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh my, oh my. Some of these stories are just ridiculous. Let's see. A Vermont grocery worker claims he was fired for stopping a purse thief. Burlington, Vermont, from WCAX. Did a good deed go too far? An employee at the Hannaford supermarket in Essex says he tried to stop a purse thief at the store but was then fired for his actions. A viral post from Amir Shenyak, is grabbing attention. 20-year-old kid is Essex resident, says he worked at the Hannaford store there for 4 years and was then named Employee of the Month earlier this year. But in August, as he started his shift, he was waved down. And he was an old lady had purse just gotten stolen. And he's a part-time volunteer firefighter. And he says his immediate reaction was to jump in and help. So he looks, sees the guy running across the parking lot, and he just jumped in and caught him and grabbed him and got the bag back. The guy who stole the bag, he got away, but the bag was returned to the woman. And the store fired him because they're worried about getting lawsuits later on. I don't know what the lawsuit could be other than, Your Honor, I tried to rob somebody and this guy jumped me and I got hurt. Yeah, that's just what the story is. So he already has a job. Someone else has given him a job. But wow, help somebody out and get fired for it. He didn't want a reward. He didn't want any money, and she offered whatever. But yeah, they caught the thief, and that's what's going on. So it really, literally does not pay to help because he got fired. And this is what's going on in the world. You're not allowed to touch anybody. That supersedes anything. You could actually probably stab somebody in the middle of your grocery store, but the workers, even if they want to, won't touch you because they might get sued. I'm glad he helped out. Sorry he got fired. Glad he got another job. And the fire department there maybe want to give him a little bonus also. Telling you, it's a sick world that way. Because worse than the bruise or a broken bone, you may hurt someone's feelings. They may be offended. They may be injured mentally. I don't know what the case is with the thief, but yeah, he deserves to be tackled. The bag deserves to be returned, and he deserves to go to jail. I don't know what lawsuit could possibly come out of that, but okay. It worked out the way it worked out. If anybody here likes what I'm doing, crazy as I may be, why don't you write to me at upfrontfrank@gmail.com, upfrontfrank@gmail.com, and tell me what you think. Tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me, but tell me something. If you have a suggestion for a story or something I am missing, feel free to tell me that too. If you like my music, tell me that too. upfrontfrank@gmail.com. And I do take requests. And if you'd like to give this a try on your own, a little microphone in your ear and by your mouth, telling the world what you think, write to skiescrescentradio@gmail.com, and someone will get back to you and tell you what goes on and what's required, and work something out. And why not? Give it a shot. That's what I did. I just gave it a shot. And now I'm here a little over 4 years, yeah. A little over 4 years. Go figure. So I'm looking at this story, and this came out of CBS News. And it says there was a survey, and they're saying it yielded, quotes, shocking and saddening results. And it shows that millennials and Generation Z people have a worrying lack of basic Holocaust knowledge. And that's according to the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany, known as the Claims Conference. Okay, the U.S. Millennial Holocaust Knowledge and Awareness Survey, which was commissioned by the Claims Conference and conducted by the Schoen Cooperman Research. Okay, is the first 50-state survey on Holocaust knowledge among millennials and Generation Z. And let me get the numbers of what people actually know. Well, let's see. Through the survey, the claims conference calculated Holocaust knowledge scores using percentage of millennials and Generation Z adults who met all three criteria. They have definitely heard about the Holocaust. They can name at least one concentration camp. I promise you it's Auschwitz. That's the one you hear about all the time. Death camp or ghetto, and they know that 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust. 63% of the survey respondents did not know 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust. Okay. 36% thought that 2 million or fewer Jews were killed during the Holocaust. 48 could not name a single camp or ghetto established during World War II, despite the fact that there were more than 40,000 of them. What else we got here? Well, yeah, it's not taught in schools nearly as much. I'm curious if they still see. It would have been World War II, Korea, Vietnam. So I'm wondering if they're still teaching Korea. I'm wondering if they're still teaching Vietnam. Of course, there have been other wars since. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure Vietnam would still get covered. It's recent enough. But how this is not being covered in schools, I will never understand. Matter of fact, I remember a couple of years ago, talking to a kid. She's about 18, 19 at the time, working in a coffee shop. And we're talking, we got to know each other a little bit. Tells me that she's going to get her first tattoo. And she gets it. And she shows it to me. It wasn't anywhere that you couldn't show. And I looked at her and I said, listen, promise me, you'll never put numbers on your arm. Never get a tattoo of numbers on your arm. And she had no idea why I was saying that. Ever. No one knew. At least her and her friends did not know why. Which numbers on the arm was what all the people held in concentration camps were all essentially branded with numbers. Tattooed numbers across their arm. If you're in my age range and you grew up, well, you may still see it once in a very rare while, because the generations are, years and years later. Around my neighborhood, and I'm sure many others, we saw all the older people, the survivors. They're all called survivors. And they had numbers on their arm. And little kids wouldn't know, but their parents explained to them what it was. But now, people don't really know what it is. They just don't. So I showed pictures. Far be it for me to let that go. Let's see. Wisconsin scored the highest in Holocaust awareness, while Arkansas showed the lowest. Let's see. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Maine, Kansas, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Iowa, and Montana were the states with the highest knowledge scores, while Alaska, Delaware, Maryland, New York, Georgia, Hawaii, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, and Arkansas had the lowest. I'm surprised New York is in the lowest, but okay. Anyway, I can keep going on about this, but I'm sure you get the idea of what I'm saying. This is not a topic that should be pushed aside or relegated in the educational system. This should be taught. This should always be taught, because when you see everyone knows the term white supremacist. We see them all the time. They're out there. You see them wearing a swastika. They're out there. They are worshiping this. They're wearing a swastika. They are pretty much, they're worshiping Adolf Hitler. This is what they're doing. This is what I don't know that the people around marching around the parks today saying whatever it is they're saying actually would have the stomach to live the life one day of a Holocaust inmate, because they don't know. I don't know if they know what they're talking about. But that's who they're worshiping. That's it. And this should definitely be taught. Starting at the right ages when children can understand what they're hearing. But this is definitely what they should be made aware of. And like you've heard many times before, so it never happens again. What else is going on? It's 5:48. Let's play a couple of songs just before we run out of time in a little bit. Anyway, I'm still playing the oldies tonight. This one was in 1956. It went #1 on the R&B chart. That's pretty cool. And this is Laverne Baker and the Gliders with Jim Dandy. That's it. That's what we need right now. Jim Dandy's the rescue. That's the way the world is. We need someone for the rescue. Then again, I like the John Fogerty song "Gunslinger." That works for me also. That's it. We need Wyatt Earp. That's what we need. Wyatt Earp. Anyway, it's 5:51. Got a couple of more songs to go. I can always dig up another story, but they're all pretty much the same. Be careful where you're going. Yeah, wear a mask. Use common sense about it. Don't worry about your civil rights about it. You're gonna go into someone's store. You know, remember everyone who works in a retail shop is sort of like on the short end of a funnel, just pouring into them. They're sort of trapped. Everyone walks in. So if they're asking you to wear a mask, just shut up and put it on. Anyway, I'm going to play a couple of more songs before I'm out. Right now, we have one more coming up. This is an old song, but this originally came from an album called Golden Empire from 1985. It was a bunch of unreleased songs by Ike and Tina Turner. Not really quite sure what year they recorded this in. I couldn't find the date. But it's always been a good song, so I'm gonna play Ike and Tina Turner, "Shake a Hand."
Won't you leave it to me? Don't ever be ashamed. If you'll give me a chance, I'll take care of everything. You know your troubles I'll share. Let me know when I'll be there. I'll take care of you. Any place or anywhere. Oh, shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand if you can. If you'll be truthful to me, I'll be truthful to you. 'Cause I'm in love with you so. Till I just don't know what to do. Oh, baby, give me one more day. I'll do anything you say. Just love me every day. And I'll get it back to you the same way. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand if you can. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand if you can. If you'll be truthful to me, then I'll be truthful to you. I'm in love with you so. Till I just don't know what to do. Baby, just give me one more day. And I'll do anything you say. Just give me your love every day. I shake my hand every day. I'ma say shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Shake a hand, shake a hand.
There you go. That was Ike and Tina from way back when. They didn't even need last names. They're just Ike and Tina. There have been certain acts that don't need last names. Well, if you're going to go back in music, Steve and Edie, that was Steve and Edie Gourmet. They didn't need last names. They were just Steve and Edie. Bono doesn't have a last name. Prince didn't need a last name. Elvis, it was optional. So, yeah, certain people don't need last names. I need a last name. Anyway, it's 5:56. We're about out of here. Yeah, a lot of the stories I had, odd to say the least. Some were sadder than others. Some you can just laugh at. I think cooking dad's ashes, as tragic as it is, I could laugh at it because I'm not doing it. And that is the story. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you with one more song since we were talking about John Lennon. I'll play him last. He'll close us out. It's a short song. It's a good song. He was singing it, I guess, to his wife at the time. And, yeah, it's just a song about getting through the tough times. So I say goodnight to everybody, and I leave you with John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band with Hold On. Have a good night, everybody.
Hold on, John. John, hold on. It's gonna be alright. make the flight. When you're by yourself and there's no one else, you just have yourself and you tell yourself just to hold on. Cookie. Hold on, we'll hold on. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna see the light.